Today, in this very special episode of To The Point, we are so excited to have your Season 16 So You Think You Can Dance winner.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Welcome on in To The Point, presented by Dance Network and Popcorn Talk. We're so excited. We're all a little bit giddy because it's been a very long 24 hours, but I am so happy to introduce America's favorite dancer, Season 16, So You Think You Can Dance, Bailey Muñoz. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Just hearing you say that just still blows my mind. Like, I haven't really soaked that in yet.
I think it's probably going to take a couple days.
It is.
I've had the winners here, like Lex has sat in your seat.
Oh my gosh.
And Hannah Leigh was here sitting in your seat. And I always find everyone's a little bit shell-shocked because just so many things happened in the last couple of weeks on So You Think. It's a lot to process.
Yeah, especially this whole journey, you know, like we go through a lot of obstacles throughout this whole journey, and just hearing the result is just... It's just crazy.
Well, I am thrilled that you won because you don't know I did this. Caroline, who is here in the studio with us, does know that this happened. But after I watched the very first episode, week 1, I decided to just go with my gut. And I wrote a name down on a piece of paper. And I titled the envelope Winner Season 16 so everyone can see it. I also have a timestamp of it. So I took a photo and I put it on social media so people know that I didn't last night just put it in an envelope. Open it up.
Okay.
It's sealed and everything. He's very careful. Are you very careful with your presence?
Yes. We gotta do it one more time. We gotta do it one more time. Ready?
You can rip the whole thing. It's all good. In a little piece of paper, it says...
Bailey! Oh my gosh. That's insane.
I saw, and this is true, I saw that very first number with you and Mariah, the one that Mandy Moore choreographed, very first number of the season, and I said, that's your winner.
Wow, that's insane.
Crazy, right? Isn't that crazy? And I do have a timestamp of it, so if anyone needs to see it, it's on my Facebook page, and it's real, so I posted it because I was like, this is the winner. Have it right there on a piece of paper.
Insane.
I know. Well, so congratulations. Thanks for making me look like a genius. Are you right in this moment? Because about 12 hours ago, I said, Bailey, we're both still out and about at the Grove.
Yes.
I will see you in 12 hours. How much sleep did you wind up getting?
I think I got like 4 hours.
Yeah, so not much.
Yeah, I was just with my family, you know, I had to celebrate with them. And I know, like, you know, actually, it's funny because Kat Dealey gave you the mic and she was like, say who the winner is, and then like
you go, Bailey?
I was like, Bailey. I'm like, this is just insane. So like I guess hearing myself say my name, and I was just looking into the audience and all I could see is my family, and I just really wanted to go them and just give them a big hug.
You have a great family.
Thank you so much. I don't know where I would be without them. And
I've met your grandparents. I've met your mom and dad.
They love you so much.
They're so sweet. And that was the thing. I mean, you had so much support from the get-go that, I mean, the Bale Rock t-shirts were there from week 1, and a lot of the other parents had their own t-shirts, but your parents had made signs and your face was on sticks, and it's incredible the work that effort they put behind it.
Yeah, my family means the world to me. They're my biggest supporters, my best friends, and every time I go out on that stage, I do it for them, and they add this extra fuel and motivation in me, and all I want to do is just make my family proud and make everyone proud. And
you do. Trust me, you do. You have a magic that I think a lot of people see. I'm not sure you always see it. I think you have confidence in yourself, but I'm like, you have this extra little sparkle that a lot of people gravitate towards. And I said, you know, your magic is not just your dancing. Your magic is something sort of intangible. It's like kind of a next level thing.
It's insane. I really never thought about it, because actually what people don't know is that before every performance I get super nervous. Like, you could ask Mariah this. She knows I'm always a stress ball change every time I go out on that stage. But I definitely, this experience I found a a strength, an inner strength that I knew I had. And I'm just so blessed that I get to pour my heart out every single week for America.
How did you feel when those solos happened? Because I kept telling people, and sometimes we didn't see it on the actual television show because the tapings were running a little bit long. You would do your solo and there would be standing ovations and there'd be Bailey chants. I think we saw it in 1 week and that was it. But I've covered the show a long time and I've never seen anything like it. The reaction that you elicit. What was that like as a performer to hear that?
I mean, it's just crazy every week because every week I was out of my style and every duet I was doing different styles. So I just felt so grateful every time I did a solo that I get to be in my style and represent myself and remind people some of who I am. And so every time I do a solo, like I just give it my 100% and
fire.
Yeah, I just like my inner b-boy comes in, my inner battle b-boy. I'm just like, this is me. Just like Mandy's opening number. Mandy's opening number is, this is me. And like that's literally how I felt, and that's crazy. I think like my first solo, I think it was week 3. I think that was the biggest one for me because I was just so nervous because I was doing different styles and I'm like, oh, you have to do a solo right now.
You feel exposed a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you're a little vulnerable and you're like, this is the style I'm most comfortable in.
Yes.
But it's authentically you.
Exactly. And yeah, like after that solo, I think I did the Shut Up and Dance. Yeah, I was just like an animal on stage. I was just so happy to be in my style, and the judges, like to see Nigel and Dietrich come down for me, that's I remember people saying that it's never happened before.
It's never happened before. And if people people weren't able to see that because I don't think the whole thing was captured. As you were finishing your solo, Dietrich and Nigel walked off the judges' platform through the crowds that were on the floor. Like it was like the parting of the sea. And they walked up to you at the front of the stage and just, shook your hand, gave you a hug. I mean, you had Dietrich sobbing, which we know he's really good at. But I think that he felt so much. He understood your journey because he was a b-boy himself.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like, I think, I thought I was the most emotional b-boy on the show, but then I forgot there's Dietrich.
Dietrich might have won that title.
Yeah, but it's just crazy because Dietrich has been such a huge inspiration to me ever since I was younger, and for him to for him to be standing there, I know I've always been saying, this show has been bigger than myself, and I felt like I represented the people, my family first of all, and God. I feel like I've also represented the past b-boys on the show as well, like Hawk and Dietrich, and past hip-hop dancers like Comfort and Fiction, and all of them, and felt like I got to represent the new generation, and
you represent Las Vegas very well too.
Oh my gosh,
there's a lot of good dancers coming out of Vegas. I always feel like it does not get the credit that it deserves because Fiction, Slavic, Anna, you. And that's just, the tip of the iceberg on all of that. Now, did you go to school some of you all went to the same Magnet High School. Who did you go to school with? Who do you know?
So I went to school with Anna. I mean, she didn't go through all 4 years, but the school is called Las Vegas Academy of the Performing Arts. And actually, Aaron Turner and Fiction both went to the same school.
There you go. Great alums of the show. Yeah. What type of training did you get there? Because this was kind of a conversation. And, Nigel sometimes would say, I don't think you have as much technique as Gino. But I said, I always kept, and I said this to you one week, I said, you have technique. You can't just go and do a flare without any technique.
Exactly.
Because I'm ballet trained, but you're not going to see me do a windmill or something. I'm not going to be able to do that. There is technique behind that. So what type of training did you get there?
So I just want to give a shout out to Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. I miss y'all and love y'all so much.
They love you.
But so it was a performing arts school. It was a modern and contemporary base, and I definitely got like my foundation of technique, and obviously it was still new to me, and but it gave me a great foundation for technical dance, and it broadened my horizons. And what's crazy is that yes, I did have a little, I had that foundation, but like you said, compared to Gino, all of the technical people, they've been doing this their whole lives in studio base, and
taking a ton of ballet classes.
It was still still new to me in a way, and just so great to have that foundation. But also coming into the show, like, I did my homework because this has been a dream of mine, and I know coming into the show I had to work hard, especially after the academy. I knew I had to keep on going and take classes and take ballet because it's so important in technique and your balance and just everything. And
it's interesting that you said you did your homework too, because I always say we're now in season 16.
Yes.
You have YouTube in front of you. You have the ability to go and research choreographers and know that if you're going to get Nakul like you did for Bollywood, not going to be easy. You need a lot of stamina for something like that. Or if you're going to get ballroom, you need to know those little kind of details that Mary's going to look for. Were you going back and sort of researching different seasons and seeing how competitors on those seasons fared?
Yes. I mean, I definitely did my homework, and I knew ballroom was actually a big challenge. And also, I want to give another shout out to VZ Dance Studios. They really gave me the confidence to come into the show. I know, like, you can't master a style ever in a week. It takes years, and especially ballroom was so hard for me just because actually coming into the show I never had any partner work. That's something that I've never done.
Amazing.
And so dancing with the partner was so new to me. And yes, like, b-boys, they have strength, but with partnering it's a different type of strength.
Totally different.
Especially in ballroom, it's the connections and your technique, and it's just a language that it's so foreign to me. Yes, like, there's so much. It's a language that it's so new to me, and you can't master that. And so it was a challenge, but I know every time I stepped out there, I just had to be me, and also become the ballroom dancer or contemporary dancer, whatever I was given that week, and just give it my 100%. And actually, I'm so blessed. Shout out to Mariah. Like, I wouldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, let's talk about that partnership, because that was kind of magic from the get-go. I loved the two of you together. I loved the chemistry of the two of you on stage. It really seemed that you understood each other, what her strengths were. You know, you each reflected the best of each other out there. Did you feel that the second that you were in the rehearsal studio together?
Yes, our connection just happened so organically. And like I said on TV, she is my dance soulmate, and I cherish every single moment we have together. You know, we're dancing, like, we started from the beginning, and then to end together is just meant a lot to both of us, no matter what the outcome was.
It's very special, and not many competitors on the show get to say that hey, my partner and I made it all the way to the end. And you know, the 10 of you will only have that experience of season 16. Like, season 15 can't compare to your season, and vice versa. But then being able to say to Mariah, like, hey, we were there on day 1 in week 1, and here we are on stage together.
It's just insane. I just can't wrap my brain around it, and especially, like, we're the top 10 champions. I want to give a shout out to my best friends, and I know the top 4 was crazy because any 4 of us could have took it home.
It's a very competitive top 4.
It was everyone was amazing. Everyone was on their A game. So, and it was just amazing. So shout out to my friends.
So You Think You Can Dance, not an easy show to do.
Oh, for sure.
What did you do in the hard weeks? How did you get through? Because not only physically, but mentally.
Yes. What my biggest takeaway from the show was actually, it was the mind. That was the biggest obstacle. Like, I learned the mind is the most powerful thing, and it's also the most dangerous thing, because every time you step on stage, like, you're worrying about the choreography, you're worrying about those little notes, but you forget that every time you step on that stage, you have to have no regrets. You have to live in that moment, and you have to have the time of your life. And that's the biggest obstacle that you have to face. And what helped me get through it was talking to my parents every night. They were my muse to somewhat step out of the world sometimes, because it could get hectic, but they were my motivation and reminded me why I'm on this show and my purpose, and why I love what I do.
They ground you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and it's
all
good.
The time.
It's interesting too, because when I had Hannah here last year, because I do like to ask, like, there are days I'm sure you walked out of that studio and you're like, this was a bad day.
A lot. I had a lot of those, and like I said, every week was an obstacle for me because I was dancing out of my style, and I was doing stuff that I've never done before, and it gets hectic, but especially it's great having a partner with you, because you experience this journey together, and you just feed off each other, and whoever knocks down, you pick them back up, vice versa. And
You have to lean on each other.
It's definitely a process, but the biggest thing is also trusting the process and knowing that everything will work out in your favor and trusting in God. And it's crazy.
The behind the scenes team too, I think a lot of people don't realize sort of how we've revealed some of the wizard behind the curtain, as I like to say, because we've had, Jeff Thacker came here on the show this year. He's come twice, and he brought Robert and he brought Mandy. But I really do think that implementing Robert Roldan as the dance consultant, he has been the big dance dad to all of you guys. Not only is he a cheerleader, he can be a mediator. He can be the guy that picks you up when you're like, I don't know what to do. He's been through every role pretty much on the show, maybe not host and judge, but
oh my gosh.
How did he help you personally? Robert
is probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm here today. Like I said, I was a stress ball change, and he would always come up to me and say, Bailey, you got this, believe in yourself. And I just cherish every word and every advice that he gave me, and I will cherish that for the rest of my life. I mean, he's been so instrumental, not only in me, but in all our lives in the top 10, and he has a huge impact. And just like Jeff, he knows the right things to say at the right moment, and he does believe in you more than he believes in me. Like
more than you believe in yourself.
Believe in myself, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has that power and that magic. And Robert Roldan, you are a superhero for sure. And
well, a lot of them thought you were a superhero because I do a lot of chatting backstage, and Robert said how special you were. I saw Comfort, and she goes, I've known him since he's itty bitty, and he's always been a special kid. So a lot of people really do believe in your magic, and that was kind of a fun thing just to hear, because I think that they really wanted you to succeed and knew that you had the ability to go all the way to make it to the top 4.
Oh, that's crazy. Did Comfort said that?
Yes.
I mean, sometimes I don't get to see that.
I'll send you the clip too. Yeah, I have a clip
that's
of it.
That's crazy.
So.
I mean, Comfort is amazing. I've known her since 2012. We got to experience a couple jobs together, and also in France we got to represent hip hop, and to do that together, and then now we get to do this on TV. And when I used to watch her on So You Think You Could Dance, like, everything came full circle. And Comfort, I love you so much.
Yes, she's a great role model.
She's amazing. Like, I was a little bit terrified dancing next to her because of how high of a bar she set for
with Lou Brown choreography.
Everything too. Yeah.
I mean, you've got
Luther
a lot.
Brown. Oh.
Yeah, Lou Brown is like Emmy nominated. Luther Brown.
I told Luther Brown that I wanted to be him when I grow up, and I've just been so blessed to. I had Luther a lot throughout the whole season, and every time I work with him, I just feel so grateful and honored to be in his presence. And his icon, legend, I call him Mr. Bossman, and
Mr. Bossman.
Yeah, Mr. Bossman.
I love that. Do you have aspirations for choreography similar to what Luther is doing?
I really never thought about that. Hopefully, definitely in the future is something that I would love to pursue. But right now, it's just, I'm trying to just soak in all this moment. And I know can't believe I'm saying this, but as being, America's
favorite dancer,
I know it's a lot of pressure, but I still gotta, we all have our career, and we gotta stay focused, and I'm just so excited for the future and what it has in store.
And you have this exciting time of tour for the night. I know, which is, everyone will tell you, and I'm sure you've heard over and over, it's the best time ever. The pressure's off. Now it's time to interact with the fans that love the show. What do you think that you want an LA career, New York career? Do you think you're going to stay focused on Vegas? Have you thought about maybe what 2020 looks like for you?
I really haven't thought about
Not there
it,
yet.
just because I've just been living in the moment. And I would love whatever opportunity comes. I just have a big trust in God, and I know everything happens for a reason, and just like I said, just trusting the process. But I'd love to dabble in whatever I can, and yeah.
Well, see, I think you're going to be working a lot.
I never really thought about it.
You
That's
didn't?
insane. Yeah.
I know. Well, think about it on tour, though.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Well, you're making me a promise on this because, okay, we have it on camera too. Because when you do, you don't have to immediately run to a place. You can obviously, Fiction stayed in Vegas for a long time. Slavic has stayed there for a while. I think he's coming to LA now, but. It's good. It's good to have a plan because this is a nice launching platform for you, and sort of utilizing that platform for your career is a great way to do it.
That fire going.
I know you got it. You got to do it. Which is so extraordinary. Well, I just have to say this has been such a pleasure watching your 6 weeks and all the growth and the rock star solos, which again, never seen anything like it in my life, but it's a joy to watch as an audience member. So proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I know. And you're ready for New York?
I am ready for New York. Let's go.
Let's go. You're
pizza.
going. You and your dad.
Yes, I'm so
and you've got. I almost said Regis. It's Kelly and Ryan. This is how long I know. I'm like, this is how old I am. But it is Kelly and Ryan now. And then you're also doing your cover shoot, correct?
Yes, for Dance Spirit magazine.
Dance Spirit magazine.
I am so excited for that. That's also been a childhood dream of mine. So
you're gonna be on the cover. Good job. All right. Well, high five to that. If people are not following you already on social media, where can they follow you? Tell us in the camera.
You could follow me on Instagram, Facebook, not MySpace, but all the social medias at Bailrock, BAILROK.
Fantastic. All of your exploits on tour. I cannot wait.
I'm so excited for tour.
It's going to be so good. I love going to tour. It's so much fun to watch. So,
especially with my best friends.
All 10 of you on stage together having the time of your lives. Well, so proud of you. America's favorite dancer. It's true. It's all real.
It hasn't hit me.
You worked very hard to get there, so you deserve it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this very special episode of To The Point. We will be back later. It is at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We have, ironically enough, season 15 winner, Hannah Lake. Yes, exactly. I know, right? And JJ from season 15.
Hey, JJ.
They came on the show. They're talking about what life is like 1 year out from finishing So You Think You Can Dance, and they'll also be talking about National Dance Day. So come on back and join us. Thanks to Dance Network and Popcorn Talk for sponsoring us, and for all your dance news, check out dancenetwork.tv. We'll see you later.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.